What if I told you that the biggest regrets people have after turning 70 aren't usually about money, careers, or missed opportunities to become more successful? They're about the moments they thought they still had time for. By the time many people realize what truly matters, years have quietly slipped away. The good news is that if you're watching this today, you still have the chance to make choices your future self will be grateful for. Stay with me, because the 7 lessons we're about to explore have helped countless retirees see life in a completely different way. Growing older has a unique way of changing your perspective. Things that once felt urgent suddenly seem unimportant, while simple moments become priceless. Many people discover that life isn't measured by how busy they were or how much they own. It's measured by the memories they created, the people they loved, and the peace they found along the way. This isn't about dwelling on regret. It's about learning from those who have already walked this path. If you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, these reflections can help you make the most of the years ahead. The first regret may be the most common of all. Many retirees discover they waited too long to enjoy life. For decades, they worked hard, saved carefully, and told themselves they would travel later, spend more time with family later, or finally take up hobbies later. The problem is that later doesn't always arrive the way we imagine. One man spent more than 40 years building a successful career. He dreamed of taking his wife on a long trip across the country after retirement. He had the savings, the plans, and the excitement. But only a few years into retirement, health issues made long journeys difficult. Looking back, he didn't regret working hard. He regretted believing there would always be more time. What most people don't realize is that retirement comes in seasons. The energy you have at 65 may not be the same at 75. That's why it's so important to enjoy the years when your health and mobility allow you to do the things you've always wanted to experience. This doesn't mean spending carelessly or ignoring your responsibilities. It means making room for joy while you can. Visit the places you've dreamed about. Spend an afternoon fishing with an old friend. Take your grandchildren to the park. Learn to paint, garden, or play an instrument if that's something you've always wanted to do. Ask yourself this question: if your energy changed 5 years from now, what would you wish you had done today? That simple question has helped many people stop waiting for the perfect moment and start living more intentionally. The next regret is even more personal. Many people wish they had spent more meaningful time with the people they love. Notice the word meaningful. It's possible to see family often without truly connecting. Real connection happens through conversations, shared experiences, and simply being present. One grandmother once said that her grandchildren rarely talked about the toys she bought them. Instead, they remembered baking cookies together, playing cards around the kitchen table, and listening to stories about her childhood. Those ordinary afternoons became extraordinary memories. What most people don't realize is that the small moments often become the biggest memories. Years from now, your family may not remember every gift you gave them, but they'll remember how you made them feel. They'll remember your laughter, your encouragement, your stories, and the time you chose to spend with them. Many people watching may relate to this. Life gets busy, and it's easy to assume there will always be another family dinner or another holiday together. But time has a quiet way of moving forward. If someone you care about came to mind just now, perhaps today is a good day to call them. You don't need a special reason. Sometimes a simple conversation becomes a memory that lasts a lifetime. The third regret is one that affects almost every part of retirement. Many people wish they had taken better care of their health before problems appeared. One of the biggest surprises after age 65 is realizing how much freedom depends on staying active and independent. The ability to drive, walk comfortably, carry groceries, or play with grandchildren often comes from habits built years earlier. The encouraging news is that these habits don't have to be complicated. A daily walk, choosing nourishing meals more often than not, getting enough sleep, keeping your mind active by reading, learning something new, or enjoying puzzles and conversations. These simple choices may seem ordinary, but over time they can make a remarkable difference in how you experience retirement. Many retirees say they assumed their health would stay about the same from one year to the next. Instead, they discovered that change often happens gradually. One day, they noticed stairs felt a little steeper. A walk became a little shorter. Everyday tasks required a little more effort. Those small changes reminded them that good health isn't something to take for granted. Of course, none of us can control everything. Life can surprise any of us. But caring for yourself today is one of the greatest gifts you can give your future self. Health isn't just about living longer. It's about living well. It's about having the freedom to visit loved ones, enjoy your favorite hobbies, travel when opportunities arise, and remain as independent as possible. As these first lessons begin to come together, a pattern starts to emerge. The greatest regrets rarely come from one dramatic mistake. More often, they grow from small decisions repeated over many years. And that brings us to another lesson that catches many people by surprise. After retirement, the challenge isn't always having too much free time. Sometimes it's discovering that without a sense of purpose, even the freest days can begin to feel empty. Retirement begins with excitement. There are no alarm clocks, no long commutes, and no deadlines waiting every morning. At first, it feels like complete freedom. But after a few months, many retirees discover something they never expected. Having more free time doesn't automatically bring a greater sense of happiness. For decades, work gave life a natural rhythm. It provided goals, challenges, and the feeling that someone depended on you. When that chapter ends, it's easy to wonder, what comes next? One retired engineer shared that after 6 months of retirement, he realized he wasn't missing his job as much as he was missing the feeling of being useful. So he began mentoring young people interested in engineering. A few hours each week gave him something far more valuable than a busy schedule. It gave him purpose. What most people don't realize is that purpose doesn't retire. It simply changes. It can be found in volunteering, volunteering, helping a neighbor, caring for grandchildren, learning a new skill, joining a community group, or sharing your life experience with someone who can benefit from it. Purpose doesn't have to be something extraordinary. Sometimes it's simply knowing that your presence makes someone else's day a little brighter. Ask yourself this question: what gives you a reason to look forward to tomorrow? The answer may be simpler than you think. Another regret many people mention isn't about something they did. It's about something they never said. As the years pass, people often wish they had expressed their feelings more openly. They wish they had said, "I love you," more often. They wish they had thanked the people who helped them through difficult times. Some wish they had apologized before pride got in the way. One man spent years avoiding his younger brother after a family disagreement. Both believed the other should make the first move. Before they had the chance to rebuild their relationship, his brother became seriously ill. Looking back, he said the silence hurt far more than the original argument ever did. Life has a way of reminding us that tomorrow isn't promised. If there's someone you've been meaning to call, don't wait for the perfect moment. If there's gratitude you've never expressed, say it. If forgiveness is needed, consider taking the first step. Those conversations may feel difficult at first, but they often become the moments people treasure most. One of the biggest surprises after age 70 is realizing that relationships matter far more than being right. The next lesson is one that almost everyone can relate to. Many older adults wish they had spent less time worrying. Think about all the things you've worried about over the years: career decisions, financial concerns, what other people thought, problems that never actually happened. Planning for the future is wise, but constant worry steals something you'll never get back. It steals today's peace. One retiree laughed as he looked back on the nights he lost sleep over office deadlines. At the time, they felt like the most important problems in the world. Years later, he could barely remember what those deadlines were about. What he remembered instead were the evenings he could have spent with his family and the weekends he could have enjoyed instead of carrying work home in his mind. Have you noticed this yourself? Many of yesterday's worries have completely disappeared, but the time spent worrying is gone forever. That doesn't mean life is free of challenges. We all face uncertainty, but there's a difference between preparing for tomorrow and allowing tomorrow to steal today's joy. Focus on the things you can control: your attitude, your kindness, your daily habits, the time you spend with people you care about. Those are the things that truly shape a meaningful life. As people reach their 70s, they often come to one final realization that ties all of these lessons together. They wish they had appreciated ordinary moments more often. When we're younger, we tend to think happiness will arrive with the next promotion, the next vacation, or the next major milestone. But many people over 70 discover that life's greatest treasures were quietly present all along. The first cup of coffee in the morning, a walk on a cool evening, hearing a grandchild laugh, sharing a meal with family, watching the sunset from your porch, calling an old friend just to catch up. These moments may seem ordinary while they're happening, but years later, they become the memories that matter most. One woman kept a small notebook beside her chair. Every evening, she wrote down 3 things she was thankful for. Some days, she wrote about birthdays or family celebrations. Other days, she simply wrote, "I enjoyed today's sunshine," or "My daughter called to check on." After several years, that notebook became a reminder that a meaningful life isn't built from a handful of extraordinary days. It's built from thousands of ordinary moments that we choose to notice. Perhaps that's the greatest lesson of all. The people who reach 70 with the fewest regrets aren't necessarily the richest, the healthiest, or the most successful. They're often the ones who learn to value time more than possessions, relationships more than arguments, purpose more than busyness, and gratitude more than worry. If you remember only one thing from today's video, let it be this: don't wait for the perfect time to enjoy your life. For many people, time rarely arrives. What you have is today, and today is more valuable than you may realize. Spend time with the people you love. Take care of your health. Stay curious. Find a purpose that gets you out of bed each morning. Let go of worries that don't deserve your energy, and never underestimate the power of a simple conversation or a quiet moment of gratitude. Years from now, you'll never wish you had worried more. You'll never wish you had spent less time with the people who mattered. You'll never regret taking care of yourself or choosing kindness over pride. Your story is still being written, and every new day gives you another chance to shape the chapters ahead. No matter your age, it's never too late to make choices that lead to a life filled with fewer regrets and more meaningful memories. If you found this helpful, subscribe for more retirement wisdom, healthy aging tips, and practical financial guidance. And before you go, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which of these lessons spoke to you the most? And what advice would you share with someone who hopes to reach 70 with fewer regrets? Your experience could be exactly what someone else needs to hear today.